Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Shenanigans. So, a murder's happened again. But you know that whatever this is comes through once every couple weeks, right? So you should
No,
be safe. No.
it's the attacks on villages are much more frequent,
Hmm.
but it may only come through here only once a week. And we rolled off screen for an int check,
Mm-hmm.
which Neal reminded me that it's only private spaces that it has to be invited into. The common room of a bar is free game for it.
Mm-hmm. That's a public space.
So, fuck was my response to that.
Yep.
So I'll have to explain that to the mayor and the townspeople that anything that would be considered a public space, the vampire can freely walk into.
Mm. The mayor does not seem happy about this information, you know? They're,
Right.
uh, hmm. Hmm.
I do apologize, but I was only reminded of that bit of lore after what happened in the bar.
Hmm.
And I didn't hear anything during the night when that was going on, Neal.
No, your room is, let's go to the map for chat. Your room is this one back here in this corner.
Mm.
So there's only one door between you and the rest of the tavern. But despite that, you heard no noise. Hmm.
Okay. So
What's
you have that chart for Speak with Dead.
Yes, I do.
All right. So at 6th level, would I be able to speak with a chocolate sister?
They need to have been dead for 1 week or less.
Or
And
less?
Chocolate Sister has been dead for like 8 days. 9 days now. Just barely outside of your range.
Unfortunate.
However, there
Alright.
was a halfling that was killed in weeds 2 days ago.
Yes, but that's on the far end.
Right.
I think it's much more likely I find someone that's also been slain fairly. Hold on. There was one that was slain just a couple days ago. I mean, more than likely it needs to feed like every other day. Okay. So it's more likely than going all the way back to weeds that I'll find that someone in either Woodland or Sausageville has been killed within the last week. And I'll speak with them.
Which one would you like to go to?
Well, I'll head to Woodsville first and then to Sausageville and back to Petal. Or I'll determine where to go after I get all the information and see if this vampire has a pattern in which village it attacks when.
All right. So, which one did you want to go to first? Woodland, because it's the closest one. All right. You make your way to Woodland. It's an hour or so jaunt to the edge of the forest, and then maybe a half hour of walking around it until you find the small little halfling village of Woodland. They are presently, how do I want to say this? There's a big farmer's market that everyone seems to be at, but rather than the normal like trading of food back and forth, there is a traveling merchant here, a human who is displaying their weapons. Many of them seem to be made of silver, and the human is having a nice big display of like, come get your weapons, guaranteed to fight off anything that you need. One weapon per person for the very, very reasonable price of 600 copper per weapon. And he says, pointing to a slew of daggers.
I just recalled something about vampire lore, Neal.
What?
At least in D&D, can't they only be hit by a weapon with a certain bonus?
Yeah, they have some sort of resistance to non-magical things. Similar
Right.
to like how werewolves need
It's-
silver weapons, vampires need like magic stuff.
Right, they need magic, but isn't it only like +2 or greater?
Rules is written as +1 or greater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that'll work at least. All right. Okay. And remember there was something that needs like a +2 or greater to hit. And I thought it was vampires.
I don't think it's vampires. It could be something else, though.
Right.
I'm sure such a thing exists.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll probably come into town and find the mayor again. Or the leader of this town.
Mm-hmm. You find the leader of Woodland. He's here at the market stall, listening intently to this human selling their wares. And sort of like tries to shoo you away when you first approach, and after you're like, hey, I need to talk to you, he looks up over. She looks over at you and says, yes?
Hold on. What's the guy saying? Is he saying...
Oh, he's just selling weapons to fight off monsters. Silver weapons guaranteed to kill anything that comes in contact with you. Dagger for 600 copper.
That is only... that's only werewolves.
Who the hell are you? Huh? You got something to say? I didn't think so. Silver weapons! Come get your silver weapons, everybody. Guaranteed to kill anything that threatens you.
Neal,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take out my mace,
Hey.
point it into the sky, and shoot up a lightning bolt into the air.
The entire town stops and watches as this lightning bolt streaks into the sky, and it falls silent as all eyes turn on you.
Now, everyone, if this is a vampire, which it appears to be, only magical weapons can affect it, not silver. Silver affects werewolves.
The halflings turn back to this person, and one of them, the mayor, says, "What are you trying to sell us here, huh?" And another person comes and puts a weapon down on the table and says, "I demand a refund." The shopkeeper says, sorry, no refunds. All sales are final. Look at the time. The sun is so high in the sky. I gotta get going. There are other people that need my help. And begins to like pack up his wares.
At least no more people will get chipped.
The mayor turns to you and says, "What? How do you know this thing? And what are you here for? Who the hell are you? What's going on?"
Adventurer hired by Patalia.
Mm-hmm.
And I am investigating the vampire that has been going around. I would like the records on when the attacks have happened. And I have some advice for you all.
When the attacks happened? Well, 6 days ago. If you add it to that table, it will be day 5, because now another day has happened. So
Right.
I'll just add it into the Discord document. It's not happening.
You can just you can just edit your comment, right?
Yeah.
So okay.
Here we go. This adds 1 on day 5 for Woodland and 1 on day 24 for Woodland.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just go over my normal thing. Explain with the updated information of don't have anyone in public spaces, like a bar that's free for anyone to walk into. It can enter there freely. Private rooms, it cannot.
Okay. They all nod in appreciation and exchange information about you, how you got here, what you're doing here.
Right.
You know, there's some communication that goes down.
And then I'm going to ask to see the corpse and cast Speak with Dead.
they take you to the corpse. The corpse is of a young halfling boy. His name is Gerald. He's not named after a food here in this town. He has a reasonable name.
The same name as one of my characters.
Two dead Geralds. How terrible.
Okay. So, I'm going to ask the general questions like where was he killed, where was the body found, all that jazz.
Gerald was killed out by the well in town, middle of the night.
Okay.
The idea is he probably got up for a drink of water somewhere in like 2 or 3 in the morning, and that's where he died.
Right. I'm going to exchange all the information I have about like where and when the attacks have happened. Or just inform them that it seems to be going around to all these places.
Some of them nod. One of the merchants there says, "Oh yeah, I was in Sausageville. They had similar things."
Okay. So you're gonna have to make sure you guys have water and a pot in the room at night to relieve yourselves. Just make sure you don't go outside. Keep your windows covered, doors closed. Don't answer them. All right.
They nod. Yep. They all take precautions.
We gotta starve it out, if nothing else.
Okay. They can also show you to the body, which they have already buried. Are you going to exhume the body?
No, if he died outside, I don't think there's any real questions I would be able to ask it.
So what's the plan? Do you know where that's going to strike next?
I'm going to get the final bits of information from Sausageville, so that's the plan.
All right. You head to Sausageville. Oh, I think I accidentally already put Sausageville on your bit of information.
Oh, did you? Oh yeah, there's one. I see.
Yep. I was trying to delete. No. There's another one. I was just trying to be clever, deleting them all. There we go.
Okay, so last night was Patalia, then there was Weeds 2 days before that. Woodland. Patalia upstream. Okay, so I think I'm going to chart this. So first,
I think we need a map with some push pins and some colored yarn and little notes.
But you can just delete one line if I make it, right?
Yes, if I can select it.
Okay, so Patalia, Weeds, Woodland, Patalia, Weeds, Patalia, upstream. Ah, jeez, that's gonna be a mess.
Move that shit away.
Okay, can you list off them in order so I can just move?
Sure.
Draw my line.
Patalia, Weeds, Woodland, Patalia, Weeds, Patalia, Upstream, Pondville, Woodland, Upstream, Patalia, Sausageville, Weeds, Sausageville, Pondville.
Okay,
Upstream.
that's enough. Because there was nothing. It goes from one end to the other constantly.
Yeah, it's just all over the place. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Well, of course I'll tell Sausageville the same spiel.
Right. In theory now, all these halfling villages are keeping their doors shut at night, keeping their windows shut, not inviting anyone in, and trying to...
having ways to relieve themselves without leaving. Although there's Upstream, Pondville, and Weeds that now don't know not to enter public spaces, but it doesn't seem like they were big enough to really have inns, did they?
They might have had like a tavern or something, but not really an inn. They're all smaller villages. Battaglia is definitely the largest one by a large margin. Yeah.
So it's somewhere within here. And halflings move really slowly.
Mm-hmm. Half speed, short, stubby legs.
It really likes Battaglia and weeds, though. Like, it goes...
Spends an inordinate amount of time in those places.
Well, hold on. Well, I guess it's only attacked beads 4 times. Battaglia. Regardless, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it for the next couple of days, so I think I'm just going to spend the next couple days just simply searching the woods looking for a fresh grave site or anything.
So during the day, you explore the woods.
Yeah, just the generally mapped out area.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll actually try to stay in Sausageville. I don't think it'll strike Battaglia again. It doesn't seem to strike the same town twice in a row. So I won't head back right now. I think I'm going to explore the plains part of this.
Mm-hmm.
And see if it happened to have made its home in the plains.
Okay. Give me 1 perception check a day for your exploration.
Nope.
So the first day you wander around and find nothing of interest. Actually, it's not nothing of interest. You do come across a group of 6 goblins standing around a dead, what do you call it, a buffalo, trying to rip it to shreds.
I'll wave at them.
They don't seem to notice you yet. They roll a 1 on their perception check. They're completely oblivious to your presence.
Heck, I'll start going to the goblins.
All right.
Speaking
you
goblin.
get pretty close before they notice you. Eventually, one of them looks over, sees you with a start and a surprise, and you say,
"Hail, goblins!" In Goblin.
"Hi?
Have you had any vampire encounters? Any of your people had their parts of their body ripped off and drained of blood in the night?"
One of them turns to the other and Goblin says, "Do you think we can take her?" And the other Goblin goes, "Yeah, we'll get her by surprise. She'll never see it." And then steps forward and says, in common, "Why, yes."
I was speaking in Goblin.
I know you were. They're stupid. They're really stupid. "Yes. In fact, our friend over here has been wounded. Come take a look," it says in common.
"I heard your plan to ambush me. It will end horribly for all of you."
They all step back a little bit.
So listen, have you actually had anyone have this happen or no?
No. They all say.
Okay. Very well then, go about your business.
They look surprised, and leave you. Yeah.
When somebody is that fearless against outnumbered 6-1, it's probably the best thing to do.
To walk away? Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that's what I find in the plains, but no grave sites.
No grave sites.
Okay, so this has been... I must have not explored the plains all that much. No, actually, I could explore the plains today, head back to Sausageville, and stay the night.
Yep. Easy peasy.
Okay. And I will... If I don't stay up watching, I'm never going to actually wind up finding anything. The Sausageville is not the right village to stay in for this. They've only ever been attacked twice. Oh no, 3 times. And it's been ages, so maybe it'll come back? Maybe.
You're gonna stay in Sausageville? They don't have a tavern or an inn there. You'd have to stay with one of the locals in their house. But considering your mission here, that's not a difficult thing to do. Someone will quarter you.
Right. I figured they've have empty rooms.
Well, there have been a few deaths. Yeah. So.
Do I know how quickly halflings reproduce?
Their gestation period is about 9 months as well. So, one child every couple of years.
Based on how many people that are halflings I have seen in all these villages, do I reckon the vampire would be able to sustain itself off their population?
Probably not indefinitely. At this rate, eventually they will be destroyed, wiped off the map. Eventually.
So it looks like 20 people every 2 months, 10 people a month, 90 people in the time it would take to make a kid.
Yeah.
Population this size of roughly 1,000, probably split between all the villages. I mean, if they were pumping them out.
But they're not.
Right. I know. I know they're not.
So said Mama Beatrix Part 2, but yeah. They're going to be suffering some real problems soon as their population declines.
Right. Okay.
Well, what's the plan here? You got to do something, right?
Right. See, my problem is this is essentially like being a lookout for a basilisk at night.
That sounds awful.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's horrible. Unless... No, it wouldn't enter without... There's no public space in Sausageville, right?
There's like a tavern, but there's no inn attached to it, so people go home afterwards.
Okay, so Sausageville is probably safe. I think my best bet is to go to not Patalia. Do any of the other ones have an inn?
No, Patalia's the only one with an inn.
So the vampire will probably quickly realize this. Maybe it'll just check in the tavern to see if there's any drunk, passed out people. But of course then, okay, what's the one that was attacked most after Patalia? Pawnville 1, 2, 3 for Pawnville. Looks like it's probably Weeds. Yeah. Alright, I think for Sausageville, I'm actually just going to stay up tonight in the tavern with the door unlocked.
In Sausageville?
Yeah. Just hoping if this is the only public space it can freely enter, it'll come in. Just walk in the door, and as soon as it does, I can unleash magical darkness and attack it.
All right.
And I
So
will just instruct every single resident not to come in the tavern. I will attack anything that comes in before morning.
They understand. There has to be a feast held to get everyone this message. So, wonderful big feast that evening. Everyone hears the message and agrees to stay away from the tavern.
All right. So,
all right.
That's my plan for tonight.
Okay. That night, let's change our music. Although this is pretty appropriate.
Yeah.
That night. Tell me about the tavern. Do you leave a fire going inside? Do you keep it dark? How are you decorating this place?
Okay, can we assume it's roughly like the building, the tavern down here? Just
yeah.
for ease sake.
Yeah.
Without the thing attached to it. So instead of the rooms being there,
there's just a wall.
There's just a wall, and I'm gonna say, let's just say there's a fireplace on that wall.
Perfect.
That way I will stay on the opposite side of the door. Okay, actually, which way does the door open?
It's attached on the left side.
So attached on the left side and swings open like that.
Yeah.
Inward
to the left. Mm-hmm.
So yes, I'll be behind the door, leave just chilling against the wall. I'll leave that window open for it to look in.
Which window? I didn't see.
This window?
That one? Okay. Mm-hmm.
To look in at the fire, I will be behind the door for when it comes in.
And that means you have a fire lit and burning.
Yeah, slowly burning.
Okay.
I probably won't feed it and just let it start burning out throughout the night.
Okay. So it's nighttime. And you're waiting. Hours pass. Somewhere in the witching hour, the door, just out of nowhere, begins to open.
What's the witching hour?
Late. It's like really fucking late.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it specifically refers to, but...
It's not like the bartender coming in because it's almost morning.
No. Well, maybe, but probably not. I mean, you warned him you would kill him if he did, so...
Right. Let's hope not.
It's his own fault if he dies here.
Okay.
Yeah, the door creaks open. There's no sound of footsteps approaching it, and there was no knocking on it. And now it kind of like opens, blocking your view of the fireplace.
I guess I unleash the darkness and the hands to swarm it.
So you cast...
No, I have the pocket on my shoulder commanded by the demon hand that just is on command to unleash the darkness. It open.
All right.
And then I will whirl past the door and start attacking.
I think this is where we go to our break, and when we come back, we will deal with this combat encounter. See you guys on the other side of our break. Bye.